Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coffee Club podcast. Just want to say happy Coffee Club Day to everyone out there. It's a new holiday that we just invented. For us, it's a Thursday. This holiday is celebrated once a week.
Yep.
For us, it's a Thursday. For you, it's whatever day that you usually enjoy the Coffee Club podcast. I guess it can change week to week, but happy Coffee Club Day to everyone. And I guess we'll just start off with a really quick Thanksgiving wrap up. I'll go first because mine's probably the quickest. So Thanksgiving Day, did my first workout back post-COVID, was really tired, cancelled all plans for the rest of the day and just lay on the couch and watched movies. Watched Twilight, Breaking Dawn 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
In the same day.
Wait, what team are you?
Come on, obviously Edward.
Team Edward?
Okay, I just got to so this is the first time I had watched all the movies.
Right.
When I was younger, I read the books. So I knew kind of what was happening, kind of forgot some of it. Man, Bella, I just don't understand like how Edward is so tolerant of her just like being so into Jacob right in front of him. She makes out with Jacob in front of Edward.
Yeah.
And I know that she does it in a way to save his life, but she tells him that she loves him like in front of him. And Edward's just chilling there. I didn't remember any of that. And watching it on the big screen, it was a lot more confronting. So I don't know, like if actually, and also wait, one more thing on it. I was shocked at how similar, is it Taylor Lautner? How similar he looks to Carlos.
Yeah,
like,
no, he looks very much like Carlos.
He looks so similar. So yeah, those were my main takeaways.
Yeah.
The movies were like, they were so bad, but like kind of addicting.
So bad.
I just couldn't believe how bad the acting was. I don't know if at the time, because they're not that old. I mean, some movies age better than others. These movies just seem terribly made, but the storyline just captures you and they're just addicting. So
it's because there was successful book series before that.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a similar situation, Wheels of Time. But
Wheels of Time.
I think...
How'd you feel about the Christina Perry song? Have you just listened to it on repeat since?
The what song?
1,000 Years.
Oh, is that the really emotional one?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that's actually been playing in my head a lot.
We need Nick Harris to sing it and we'll play it.
That's a
tough listen.
But no, he looks very similar. I mean, I'm impressed you got through him, to be honest.
Yeah, we watched all 5, by the way.
Because they're like 5 of them, right?
Yeah, we watched all
that's
5.
a lot. So that's a pretty impressive move. You definitely didn't want to get off that couch.
When you have COVID, your ability to watch TV shows and movies is very strong.
I remember the fight scene being kind of good, actually. The fight scene that doesn't actually happen.
Yeah, so this is the funny thing is I was completely got. Like I got. Like I was like,
you forgot that didn't happen.
Yeah, I forgot, and I was watching it, and I was like, no way! Like they killed off like Carla. I think it's Carla.
Yeah.
And Jasper. Jas was like my favorite character.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that. And like everyone dies, and then it's like, oh wait.
Well, it's like half the movie, and you forget like how that started.
Exactly. So that got me really good. So kudos to Stephanie Meyer.
Is that the director?
That's the author.
The author.
So yeah. So it was good. I mean, it was one way to spend your time, spend your Thanksgiving, and we ate pizza as well. So that was pretty cool. Because I'd been craving.
Traditional Thanksgiving dish.
This happens. Yeah. Thanksgiving in Italy. This happens every time I get sick and I have like limited appetite or like I can't eat like the foods I want. I start craving pizza.
I was going to say, was Cinta with a bowl of soup just over you, feeding you a little soup, and Morgan's just there, like just petrified, can't move? And
that was the first weat. That was
liquid diet.
The story of the first week. So yeah, that was my Thanksgiving. What about you guys?
I had a new experience as well. It was not a movie experience, but I actually just remembered this. So something I've never done before. Well, I have done it, but not in this way. Playing bar pool, but like So I've played bar pool before, but only in a situation where I've like waited until a table was free, or just gone to a free table and then played pool on my own. But it was Wednesday night. Apparently, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving is called like
Thanksgiving Eve.
Duh.
Obvious. No, it's like one of the days of the year with like the most alcohol consumption.
Wait, I think it's because everyone comes home. Like all the college kids are back home.
Blackout Wednesday or something. I can't remember.
Well, I know like
maybe it's just blackout. Oh, because it's like Black Friday. I think it's like Blackout Wednesday.
Maybe
that's what the kids are calling it.
It's like St. Patty's Day, Mardi Gras, and like Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
I know Thanksgiving, like after Thanksgiving, people go out. Like there's a thing that people would like go out after Thanksgiving for like drinks and stuff Thursday night.
I didn't know about that, but all the bars were like kind of going off.
Yeah.
in
Well,
Carlsbad.
I saw a meme about it, George, and it was two guys talking about how old, like what's the upper age limit for going out on Thanksgiving Eve. And they said it was 25 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
That's why I went to bed.
Yeah.
Because they were saying it's just like all college kids coming back home and wanting to party with their high school friends.
I can see that.
Yeah. It makes sense. It makes complete
But
sense.
so there was only one bar in Carlsbad that had pool tables, and we wanted to go play. We were just like going to play pool after dinner, but all the tables were taken. So I was just gonna be like, all right, I'll play pool, I guess. But it's like, in bar, you can just this like.
Did you put a coin down
Yeah.
on the table?
Well, I didn't. I was too scared. But
That's
Dan,
legit. That's like serious. That's
Yeah.
someone that does that
the guy
regularly.
we're with was like, oh no, you guys just have to like, you guys have to play them. Like you guys have to play for this table. Like I'm gonna go put a coin down. I was like, oh shit, I haven't played pool. I mean, I've played a decent amount of pool. Like I can hold my own, but I haven't played pool in a long time. I'm not that
You're a
good.
bit rusty.
And so I was like feeling pretty nervous. But
It's a high pressure pool game.
it wasn't like the guys looked scary that were playing. It was like a scary guy, and then this girl who ended up like she was really freaking good. But so we put a quarter down, waited a little while, and then like our turn came up, and I was playing with Jenna's little brother, like doubles. So it wasn't just me, so that made it like less scary.
Mm.
But we got into a tussle for this table.
Mm-hmm.
We lost.
No.
Yeah, that was tough.
I thought that story was going to have a happy ending.
I thought that was going to
It
end
didn't have
differently.
We had a good shot, but this girl was just like hammering us, and I think we were like one ball behind maybe, and we stayed for like an hour, maybe a bit, and this girl was still on the table when I looked over.
So she just lives there.
She was just like running this pool table the whole night. But essentially, we went to the back corner where they were less good. We went to like the drunk corner. They were just terrible pool players. They could like, and then we went and won a game in the corner. And,
Nice. You
and
got to
won a
work your
couple.
way up.
So we went and played like the lower ranked table in the corner.
You got to start somewhere.
But it was tough loss to start the night.
No, that's a good.
But
way
that was
to-
a new experience. You can just rock up and like start throwing quarters.
Mhm. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Lifestyle. What a good way to celebrate Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah.
Blackout Wednesday.
Not remembering it.
Yeah.
It's the best way to remember Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Ollie,
Um,
memorable moment.
Memorable moment. Honestly, I made a lot of friends in the pool. Elderly ladies.
Another pool related.
Another yeah.
A different type of
Different
pool
type
though.
of pool, but tell you what, I was sitting poolside. Bank, shout out. And these elderly ladies were worried that I was, like, they were going to be in my way, and I said, no, I'll hug the lane, and because it was a weird pool situation where I was in Texas. It was like no lanes, so it was kind of a free for all swimming thing. You have kids jumping in and stuff. So I was trying to do an actual pool workout. I did like 4K of swimming, and these elderly ladies were like literally a wall protecting me from any kids coming into my area. That's what their job. They were floating up and down with like a girdle, like the girdle pool things that lift you up.
Mm-hmm.
They were like that, and they're just floating
Oh,
along.
a noodle.
Yeah, like a noodle, but it was like wrapped around,
Oh, okay.
Like a donut.
like and tied up. Yeah, like a donut, like a donut, but like more like sophisticated, a sophisticated donut. And they were
Yum.
protecting me. They were my security, making sure none of the kids were jumping into that side of the pool where I was just swimming laps. So I made some good friends there. On my Thanksgiving, I was definitely giving thanks to them.
That's lovely.
And I guess I enjoyed watching the football this time. I feel like I usually at Thanksgiving, because I know it's a big part of Thanksgiving is watching the football. I enjoyed that. But the funniest thing is every year I still get the same question from all Americans, just go, so what do you guys do in Australia with Thanksgiving? Do you celebrate Thanksgiving? No, we do not celebrate Thanksgiving, unfortunately.
I kind of wish
Thanksgiving
we
is a uniquely U.S. concept. I don't think does Canada have Thanksgiving? It
I
might
was
have
about to say
Thanksgiving.
uniquely apart from the other country that does it.
Do they have the same Thanksgiving?
It's
Yeah.
a different date.
Okay, but it's the
I think
same
it was
concept.
I think it was like a while ago.
Does Mexico have Thanksgiving?
Doesn't sound like
I don't
something
know.
they would do.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't even know if
This is
Canada
me
eats
not knowing.
turkeys on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they might eat maple syrup on like pancakes, so maybe that's their Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, and then watch Moose like play football.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I'm sorry, but yeah, Australians and New Zealanders, I think New Zealanders do a lot of weird things.
I do get asked like, what's the equivalent holiday?
We
New Zealand?
We don't have one, do we?
No, they were asking me like, well, what holidays do you have that aren't Christmas? Blah blah blah, like news. I said that we had Australia Day and we have like the King and Queen's birthday. Like that's like a weekend where my brother goes out and has a big one. So
I always tell them that Easter is a bigger deal at home.
Yeah,
and not
Easter's
in terms
big.
of like
not
in terms of the Jesus dying part.
No, the chocolate.
But more like that you get Friday and Monday off. I don't think there's a public holiday in the US. So Easter's like not a big deal just because there's no days off. But
maybe that's what they're trying to. Yeah,
we get a 4-day weekend at home, so
we do.
I feel like people make a bigger effort to like
we
travel.
we call Easter Blackout Easter. Actually,
the day before Easter.
The day before Easter was Blackout
Thursday.
Easter.
Wait, what's the Friday called of Easter?
Good Friday.
Before Good Friday is Blackout Thursday.
No, it's Bad Thursday then Good Friday.
Yeah, that's what we like to celebrate.
So Bad Thursday, Good Friday. We'll have a video coming out soon with Chris, my brother, demonstrating what a bad Thursday is and a Good Friday is.
I bet that is a thing. Actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about it.
The only other thing that I kind of say is that I feel like in Australia and New Zealand, I know Christmas is massive here, but our Christmas to New Year's period is like especially special because it's during the summer. So it's during during the biggest school/work holiday time of the year. It coincides. And we also do have Boxing Day, which I think is unique to, I don't know, does the UK have Boxing Day? Is that just us?
I don't think so.
I bet they do. I bet that's where we got it from.
Yeah, we probably stole it from them.
They probably don't
but not
celebrate
America.
It. America doesn't have it, but I don't think, maybe the UK doesn't celebrate it as much as we do, because I feel Boxing Day at the whole household was a big deal.
But you know, I don't know, like this changed as I grew up, but Boxing Day in Australia is our Black Friday now. Like it's a big shopping day.
It is.
Which it didn't used to be. That's the American influence, I think. It's a big shopping day now, which doesn't make sense because the day after Christmas. Like why would you have
everything's on sale?
A big shopping day the day after Christmas, but yeah, so that's our holidays.
That's where everyone exchanges their shitty gifts that they got.
That's where everyone takes their gifts back.
Everyone just takes that book back and gets the cash and then goes and buys
exchanges.
Something else.
So yeah, that's how we do it down under. So yeah, that is the Coffee Club Thanksgiving. A beautiful week of the year. And today our main topics are going to be all surrounded our new segment, the Coffee Cauldron. We're really, really, really like delving into fantasy themed.
We just live in fantasy all the time.
The three of us are the Fates. You know the Fates from
what is that from?
Mythology. Like one of them like pulls the string, one of them does something before that with the string, and then one cuts the string, and they each have like a different purpose. I don't know. I
feel like I would pull the string, you would do the other thing, and then Morgan would.
I would do the unknown
the thing that we can't remember.
The thing that we can't remember. Well,
thanks.
I feel like you'd be good with that, George. I'll pull the string because I'm always pulling people's strings. I'm always pulling people's strings. That's what my mum tells me, and then Morgan can cut it. But then George can like really just analyze it. I think
it's making the string, so that probably would be your job because you get that from the sheep.
Yeah.
So I do like the cauldron. I like the name.
The Coffee Cauldron. And what that is, I don't even know if I actually said it, but it's an advice column. So thank you to everyone who submitted. We had a lot of good submissions, and we're really, really sorry to everyone that we can't get to yours today, but we will get to it eventually because it is going to be a recurring segment. But I've just hyped it up so much. But before that, we're just going to touch over a couple of things that we weren't able to talk about or that is relevant for this week. The only thing actually that we haven't talked about yet that I wanted to talk about was Oregon not making NCAA cross. And I just wanted to get Ollie's take on it.
Well,
men and women.
Okay, maybe the women made it. I just know that the men didn't make it because I saw only one of them.
This is the Ollie hot takes with it. When you take on a role, it's like Coach Prime here in Colorado. You take on a role, you're the director, you're trying to rebuild that program. You have a lot of good history of creating really crazy, in-depth teams. Jerry Shoemaker has that resume. However, he's currently not having a good year. We can probably state that. I mean, he's lost.
Coach Prime?
No, Coach Prime
not having a great year.
He projected to win. Year. He projected to win 3 games. He won 4. So technically, he did better than projected.
That's
However,
true. Wow,
he lost 8 of the last 9 games.
Yeah, he just came out way too hot.
Yeah, he came out hot. He brought in Chris Rock, and he just went.
I think it was The Rock.
Was it The Rock?
Maybe it was both.
No,
maybe there was a guy called Chris there, and then there was The Rock. So there was Chris and The Rock. I'm just correcting what I'm saying. But yeah, he went out hard, and then he fizzled. I think with Jerry, at the moment, is he just is it a clean slate? Is he just clean slating?
It's a
Because
rebuilding
he's
phase.
losing. He's lost a lot
I
of
don't think he
good
even has that
athletes in
excuse though,
Bowerman.
because this is his second year.
Yeah, he has a lot.
Is it?
He's lost a lot of good kids in Bowerman. Sorry, men and women, not kids. They're not kids.
Well, they can't.
then the
They can't
kids
run
in-
for the team though, Ollie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But the kids in Oregon are also not performing to this expectation that I'm sure Jerry has. So I'm really wondering what the fuck is he doing? Like, honestly, what is
He's
he
just
doing?
cashing in
Is he
checks.
cashing in? Because I know
He's just
Nike's paying
cashing
him a
checks.
shit ton of money. And to be honest, he does deserve it because of what he's produced and built over the years. It's very hard to do what he's done as a coach. But then...
I hope the training level is high, because isn't that his whole thing? Is like he's taking on the college role so that he can train them harder, so they're more prepared when they leave.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
So
mean,
he's
He's
maybe...
playing the long game.
yeah,
playing the long
he's
game.
playing the long game, but the one more...
They're not actually supposed to be any good in college.
The most important thing I want to know is, was he available for comment on this?
Oh, I don't think
No,
so.
he wasn't. Oh,
No
well, I did
comment.
see a cool photo of him and Jonathan Galt having a conversation, and it was on Twitter, and it says, like, what do you reckon they're talking about here, or something like that, and then someone just said, definitely no comment. So I enjoyed that, but my point of view on that is like, wow, well, if I'm a college kid, it is really hard to turn away the glory of Oregon, because you look at that stadium, you look at everything like that, but right now,
history.
it looks like a lemon. Like, it literally is like that lemon car that keeps breaking down. You keep taking it to the mechanic. Like, it looks like it's not working out at the moment. And maybe wait a few years. Like, maybe repeat. Do really bad in school. Don't run your PRs yet. Just wait a few years, and then hopefully, in the next 5 to 10 years, then Jerry will have the place up and running with bowel movement and with the college teams. But it is pretty sad to see them not make it, because didn't they have a really good recruiting system?
They had an
like,
amazing recruiting
amazing.
class.
like Monty Burns, no, Connor Burns, and who else?
Simeon.
Simeon, yeah.
Birdbath.
But they
Similar-
already had really good athletes
Yeah.
there before that.
It's not like the region is even that hard, even. I don't think.
Well, the whole West
I mean, the
was,
West is good.
Yeah.
was
it's
weak
not-
this year, though. The
Yeah,
whole
it's
whole
not like
West
Stanford-
was really weak.
Stanford was podiuming a few years ago pretty regularly. Now they're not. Like
We're going in depth here. We're deep diving. We're deep diving here, lads. But was it injury or was it bad performances? Like, were their top guys injured?
No clue.
No clue.
Well, one of the guys made it.
typical
as
That's
a-
what we,
Club
that's what we
research.
would have asked Jerry, but he wasn't.
Yeah, he
available
wasn't
to
able to
comment.
comment. Yeah, we
Yeah.
called him and it just went to a voice memo.
Yeah, so
What
that's
did his voicemail say?
no comment.
He said unless it's the Coffee Club boys, no comment. But no, I mean it's hard to kick a man when he's down, but this is not great. It's just not great. Like,
As a fellow Wisconsin alum, I stand with Jerry, but
no, I think Jerry's an
But-
amazing coach, but it just seems like something's going down in Oregon. Something's
Yeah.
happening.
yeah,
Something's going on. We don't know yet, and hopefully, when the documentary comes out, Oregon and Us by Netflix, we'll find out. 10-part season coming out next year.
yeah. So the official Oliver Hoare advice is to fail your senior year
Keep failing your senior year,
until Oregon's good, and then go.
and then you go. Yeah.
So
That's my
that's
advice.
very good advice.
Because you can't go anywhere else. You can't find success anywhere else in the country, I don't think.
Mhm.
NAU,
No.
nah.
No.
You just get shin splints from doing double threshold. Wisconsin, you will, but it's a really hard school to get into, and you have to work really, really
That's
hard.
really smart.
You have to be really smart, but you also have to be street smart. Yeah. So,
That's what they're testing.
they're testing street smarts, and Mick Burns ahead of the test. I tell you what, no one's more street smart than Mick
He
Burns.
fails 90%.
He failed his own test. But yeah, you can't find success anywhere else in the country. So it's Oregon or bust. So I would fail your classes, don't run your PRs, and just wait
Smart.
because something's happening. I think Jerry will reform. Yeah.
Sage advice. Thank you, Ollie.
You're welcome.
So the biggest race of the year is
Yeah.
upon us.
It was actually this morning, based on when this comes out.
So true. So we're going to be behind on this one. So we're not going to do much in the way of a preview. Sound running cross country.
Dun, dun, dun.
What we are going to say is we're going to give them kudos for their social media, whoever's running it. I think it could be Jesse, but I think it's possibly also an intern or someone that works with him. Because I know someone that works with him is like a pretty big fan of us, so they like to shout us out. And they put out an Instagram story today, and we'll put it up for the video. But for the people listening, just to explain it, it was a picture of like a one-lane track, kind of like with grass and trees around it, and it said Coffee Club approved XC course.
We didn't approve it. We're not there.
So technically we didn't approve it, but we appreciate the banter.
Yeah, the banter is fantastic. I mean, I mean, when he gets next, I mean, sometimes I see that and it's like, is that David Ribbich? No, it's Sound Running. The banter's that good. But we didn't approve it. Were you there, George? Were you there, Morgan? Because I wasn't there. I didn't approve this course.
It is a new course. Not getting aside from the meme. I am interested to see what Jesse has pulled out of the hat this year.
Yeah, I think it'll be really good. I'm sure that every year they're going to make it better and better, and they're going to improve upon the issues from last year. So I'm sure it'll be great. And I mean, unfortunately, we're not there this year, but I think it'll still be a good race. And hopefully, there's a good live stream that we can watch, because I would actually. Well, I think it's at 6:30 in the morning for us.
Oh, really?
I believe it is.
So I'll watch the replay.
Yeah.
So
I'll watch it when it comes out in DVD.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see people. We thought this last year when we realized that we were in Austin running cross country, and there were some college kids running 13:10 in Boston. We're like, seems like an interesting choice. But there are people making that choice again.
Yeah, it was worth it to see Carlos. So we got to see Carlos.
Yeah,
that was probably.
I mean, it was a fun trip. But
we stayed in a nice mansion.
Yeah, that mansion. It was about 100 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Plus.
Yeah. So who are those names this year, George?
Just someone like Charles Hicks, for example.
Charles Hicks.
UTC. Not his debut, I think. He ran a couple of races for Bauman at the end of the season, right?
He did. I was in one of them.
Was it? Oh, it was that one in LA.
He ran in LA in the Bauman kit.
But I'm guessing he is trying to run Eurocross.
So it makes sense.
So I think it does make sense for him. Maybe he has to prove fitness, or...
It's good that Jerry's letting him go run that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Jerry doesn't know he's going. Who knows? Okay, so approval for the name. Hiccups or Hickey? What do you reckon?
Charles. Well,
Charles
we already had the name for him. Do you remember?
No.
It was the one from the Cars movie.
Oh, yeah, Chick Hicks.
Chick Hicks.
I forgot about that. Never mind.
I mean,
that
Charles
one was
Hickey
good.
is nice as
Damn
well.
it. Hicks.
Charles Hickey was...
So Chick Hicks was running.
Yeah.
The NAZ boys. Olin over here.
Owen's back in it, yeah. I mean, it's good that I've spent a lot of time in Flagstaff, so Michael's been able to look over my training and tell me that's wrong. So
he's ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go.
Telling you're not running enough threshold.
Yeah, and he says, "What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be on the podcast?"
Yeah. No, so we don't really have anything to say about the race because we don't really know. But
I got
any specifics?
Who do you think's gonna win?
Excited. I have no idea.
I'm gonna say Kiptu is running, very good cross runner, and
is Kurgat?
Yeah, defending champ. Is he going back? I'm trying to remember. Seems like his bread and butter race.
Based on not knowing at all who is racing, if those two are racing, I'm going to pick one of those two. But
maybe Vildshoot, also a good cross runner.
Oh, yeah.
But Chick Hicks also won NCAA cross, so that's all we got.
I picked Mokatir.
He's making the trip all the way from Spain.
I mean, he's got all those Spain cross country races and Europeans is coming up, so
he's got to get ready.
He's got to get ready.
It's a good sleeper pick.
Hey, you wait till he comes around the corner.
Now that Jingy's not running Euros, it's wide open.
It is wide open, a.k.a. Mokatir. I'd say, he would be
the black
one.
cat.
The black cat would be out in force, dancing around the course.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you win Eurocross, that should be like an auto to the 10K at Worlds.
Yeah, it'd be a really hard race to win. So I wouldn't... I'm sure...
I guess just because every year you normally have to beat Jingy.
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm. It's not easy.
This year, Jingy's taking the back seat. He's playing Pokemon Go, and you'll wait.
His injury is from Pokemon Go. It's not from running.
Yeah,
it's a finger injury.
Yeah, it's a finger injury from Pokemon Go. He's just I went too hard after I spoke to the Coffee Club boys, and I've injured myself doing Pokemon Go. But he'll be back in force.
Yeah, so that's cross country. At the same time, this week we have the BU season opener, and every collegiate runner wants to be in those races, and maybe a couple pros as well. I haven't looked through the full field, but it is just it's cool that college kids are running so fast, but I think it's also a little bit sad that if you want to qualify for indoor nationals now in the 3K, 5K, you have to go to Boston pretty much, and you have to take advantage of these early season ones. Just so many kids that end up qualifying for nationals in March. Is it in March? Yeah, March.
Will be from this race.
Will be from this race, which is just crazy. And I'm so excited to see how fast these kids run coming off the cross country fitness, especially Graham Blanks. Do we have a nickname for him? There's got to be something there. Just goes to
I'm going
Harvard.
blank. I can't
Blanking
think of
right now.
anything.
We're blanking right now,
Yeah.
but I'm very excited to see how he runs. I think is Kai Robinson racing? I'm sure
Yes.
he raced
Yeah.
last year, and the NAU boys are there. So just so many of the good guys. I can never
Just a big
remember his name,
rematch.
but the New Mexico kid is racing.
Hampton?
I think so. So it's just all the top people
All
from
the
cross
youngs.
country on the men's and the women's side. Parker Valby's racing. It's just going to be such a wild race and people just trying to run. I wonder what it'll be paced at. If it's like,
It said 13:10.
jeez, that's so
Yeah,
quick.
I was gonna say, do you reckon like
Last year they ran 13. I think Kai ran 13:11
Mm-hmm.
when he won. So
do you reckon Parker Valby will go sub 13 for the 5K?
Yeah, probably.
don't see why not.
She's
How
gonna
many
do her
sub
SM
13s
things.
are we gonna see? Parker Valby number 1,
Caitlin Tui.
Caitlin
Is
Tui
Tui
number
running?
2,
I'm not sure
Huh?
if NC State are going.
Mm.
I'm not sure.
NAU boy number 1.
I
NAU
think
boy
they're
number
top
2.
7. Yeah, top
Yeah,
7.
They're just top 7.
And
on
Mike
sub-
Smith.
Yeah.
We'll
I
go
think there's
sub
more
13.
than 7 of them going. There's like it's just the whole team.
It's unreal.
Do they bunk up? Are they in bunk beds, do you reckon? At the hotel?
I think they just share the same
yeah,
bed.
and then Mike sleeps on the floor to make sure no one gets up late at night. Cause,
No, they actually have to come straight from altitude, so they
yeah.
get there the
and
same
they all
day.
tape their mouths, right? And their nose. They tape their mouth and their nose. It's pretty impressive. They breathe out of their ears.
That's the next level.
That's the next level.
the next. I've
Geordie's
got
still in
to-
the first step.
I'm at one nostril.
Geordie's
I've
still
taken one nostril in my mouth.
Yeah, Geordie's
You're
on
working your way there.
step 1.5. Step 2 is taping
And then
your mouth.
half a nostril.
Yeah, and then you tape one ear so you breathe out the other ear. And then
you
eventually you
die.
just breathe out of your eyes.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
yeah. I what do you guys want to do a prediction contest on just what you think the winning time will be?
I think sub 13.
Sub
Like, I'm not
13.
kidding. Like, I think like seeing how crazy college kids have been running the past few years, I would not be surprised seeing a college kid run sub 13.
I'm gonna.
Particularly like Boston's like, like what, 25 seconds?
I think 25. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the record? Collegiate record.
13:07.
I think it depends which one you count.
Yeah. What was the one that?
I'm not sure what the indoor 5K record
Yeah.
is.
Abdi Ahmed has it outdoors 13:06. And
But
maybe
even then-
13:08.
But
It's
even-
13 O's, I think.
Even then, it depends which one you count because I'm pretty sure like
Oh, like postseason.
Lawi Lang postseason ran 13 flat, 13:01. So
I
don't
think-
know.
I could see 13:08.
That's what I was gonna say. I think 13:08.
I think sub 13. I think you guys are being way too. You're sleeping on these guys. These guys are good.
I'm gonna say 13:09.
All right.
I'm gonna
So
say.
then we each
I'm gonna
kinda
say
have, like-
12:58. Graham Blanks 12:58.
That'd be so sick if
And
he ran
then,
12:58.
and then he gets interviewed afterwards and he said, "Yeah, I got to do a double threshold like now." So then he does his threshold 1 and then he does his second threshold later in the night.
Did you guys see?
Did they do double threshold? I didn't watch his interview.
No, I don't know.
Do you see what he does on the start line though?
The grenade.
Yeah, but he does the grenade, but first he does wow, I'm blanking so hard. And he does like the finger disappearing thumb trick.
Oh yeah, he's doing that.
He
yeah.
does the disappearing thumb and then he throws it away. And the coolest thing about it, he did it on the start line on the camera of Nationals. The coolest thing about it is on No Context, there was a video of him doing it at NXN as a high schooler. The
Really?
same thing on the start
Damn,
line.
that's cool.
Or did he come at NXN?
No
Was
clue.
he any good back then?
I mean, that was probably like 2 years ago, so he must have been pretty good. But yeah, that's so cool just to like have something that you've done on the
Damn.
highest level, and then you go win.
Yeah,
amazing.
that's pretty sick.
So that's the BU season opener. So, and college kids are not the only ones taking advantage of it. We're going to be at BU as well, so don't worry. We are not.
I mean, I guess some of those kids would like to run 13:05.0. Probably.
Is that the Olympic time?
I believe so.
Why not get it out of the way?
Olympics.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm sure like they would be going after that. It's just so early, but I mean they're so fit coming off cross country.
You have to be so fit at that nowadays to like, and like so sharp to run 2:29 for the first K. That like makes no sense just to like if you just went and took your break right now, but you were super healthy and ready to go. It's kind of a missed opportunity.
Mm-hmm. So
But you're just gonna have meets every weekend for the next 3 months.
They must make so much money off that track.
I did hear the entries are like $100 now or something.
yeah,
Per
is that
kid.
per kid? How much
I might have
money
made that up.
is this program making? It's amazing.
A lot, I think.
Well,
I think
good
it, yeah.
for you.
I think it used to be. I just heard it was less than.
Oh, one final tidbit on it. This is the first big meet that we've heard of since they redid the track there. Correct?
They have resurfaced.
Wouldn't it be so funny if it was just really
Yeah.
slow?
I mean, honestly,
They
if
just
it is,
destroyed
that
it.
would be hilarious because then like people wouldn't have that option anymore. They'd have to go to like the Armory. Because the Armory is like that.
I think
track
that's where
is-
people would go.
That track is also getting resurfaced next year.
What?
Yeah.
In time for Mirrors or not?
No, sorry, 2025 is getting resurfaced.
Oh.
Because it's getting the Mondo track that's used for Paris. I was talking to the guy that runs it. They're using that for the Armory as well. The same track.
I love that they have Mondo for championships now. Why did Eugene put in that asphalt?
Because Jerry said no comment.
He said no
Don't
Mondo.
comment on it.
He
Just
said no
leave it.
Mondo.
No Mondo. Do you think like these athletes are going to be training on Mondo tracks, George? No way. No way. They're training on what type of track is that?
Cinder.
Training on Cinder.
Freeze trail material.
Yeah.
They,
Wood chip.
I think they put wood chips under it. It's so
Yeah.
rough. I think it's like a bed of wood chips, and then
From Priest Trail. Just fucking put fucking.
and then they've covered it in track.
Yeah.
on top.
Classic. What a, that's
Good
a
old
troll.
Eugene.
That's
Good
a
old
troll
Eugene.
from Eugene.
Yeah. Well, I think it's time for us to
Dip
move
into the
into
cauldron.
this new
Dip.
segment, the Coffee Club.
Dip
The
the
Coffee
ladle.
Club Cauldron. This is our theme song, right? Either this one or
I think we can do better.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's tingly.
how'd that feel? Did you guys enjoy that?
Felt
Like
like I
liked-
was.
I think I vote for option 2.
I also vote option 2.
Option 2 it is. I mean, today both of them are in there, but in
No,
the future, option
We
2.
gotta restart.
Yeah. And just for people listening, like we haven't read through any of these at all yet, so we'll just
This is fresh.
this is fresh, and we're gonna read through. Not all of them have names, but I mean, if we read it out, then you're gonna know which one that it was yours. So thank you very much for submitting them to everyone. Okay, this is the first one. Hey, Ollie, George, and Morgan. I'd love to get advice on race day or race week nerves. I've lost count on the amount of races I've thrown up before because I'm nervous and I have a fear of failure. I know I put in the proper effort to achieve the realistic goal I have set up for myself. However, I cannot seem to shake the nerves. I've even thrown up before races that I've just run for fun. Chicago Marathon 2022. I have run well after my morning jitters. I took 6 minutes off my marathon time in Houston 2022 after throwing up and not being able to consume anything pre-race. 316 to 310. I know in order for me to break the 3-hour barrier, I need to figure out how to get over nerves. I love running and achieving goals, so I'd love to hear how the pros get over their nerves. If my question gets answered, I'm sure there will be something funny or memorable one of you shares that will stick with me before every single race. No pressure. I love the show and appreciate the platform and praise you give to the women on your team and in the sport in general. It's great being a part of the sport that lifts up women and cheers them on just as hard. P.S. I do know a sports therapist that could be a great solution here. It's the courage. I do know a sports therapist, could be a great solution here. It's the courage of actually finding one. So, pre-race jitters. That is a very good question. And especially, it's really good that you mentioned that you run the marathon because like, if you were running a shorter race and you were throwing up before it, it wouldn't be as important as if you're running the marathon because that's your fuel, your carbs is a limiting factor in the marathon. So throwing up before it is, as you said, not conducive to the best marathon performance. So I know a few people that have similar things that compete on the highest level. Do you guys have any experience with this or any anecdotal advice or anything like that?
I've heard of people having that symptom before.
Should we out some people, some really good runners that we know that have it? Because one of them is, we're going to out them, Zach Snyder, our previous roommate. No matter what, he would throw up before every race. And another one who, I don't know the details as specifically, but Woody Kincaid, I know he throws up before races as well. And it's just part of like the pre-race nerves. And I don't think they know how to control it, but honestly,
I think I remember what he's saying in an interview he threw up before he and Grant went 1-2 in the Olympic trials. I think.
Yeah,
It's pretty wild.
So
but ideally, you don't. It'd be nice knowing that you didn't have to throw up.
Yeah, I think
partly the carbs thing, but also it's just not very fun.
No, it doesn't make your race day experience as fun.
Yeah,
knowing that you will potentially be throwing up, but maybe that does help you to know that it's yeah, you're not alone, and there's really, really good runners that have the exact same issues. But with that said, you still do want to find a way to solve it. And the thing with like nerves, pre-race nerves, is they're a good thing. Like you need some nerves. Like it's like the classic. Is it a Michael Jordan quote where he says like the day that I don't get nervous is like the day that I retire or something? Like I don't care anymore. Might have just made that quote up, but I think that we all feel the same. Is like the nerves is your body like getting ready to go and to do something extraordinary that you've never done before. When it comes to the actual like physiology of nerves causing you to throw up, I don't really know how that works. So I don't know if there is something like specific that you have to do, like if there's something that you take to stop you throwing up from nerves, or if it is a question of trying to lower the amount of nerves that you have. You know what I mean?
I think in terms of advice, I would say, I mean, it sounds like I'm sure this person has tried like different foods. It doesn't sound like what they're eating matters. It sounds like it's just the race coming up that matters. I feel like I would say like if you are trying to not do that, then I think it's got to be, yeah, like a physiological thing, but I think it's got to be coming from like your mind. And I feel like then like doing some breathing exercises and or meditation stuff before would be my advice. I don't have any advice on like which ones to do. Maybe do some research. And like I know Ryan Krause has talked about doing like if he says he feels like too relaxed before a meet, he'll do like breathing exercises to like get him more pumped up and get his heart rate up. But if he's like feeling like too worked up and like, I don't know if he used the word nervous, but I mean, that's kind of the same thing. Then he'll do breathing exercises to like bring his heart rate back down.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely like super useful tools out there through breathing. So that would be my suggestion. Go out into the world of that.
Mm-hmm.
I've had like I've had proper nerves and stuff. Like I think for me, the first time I experienced a negative effect of nerves was probably the Olympics. Going through each round, I got more nervous, and dealing with that was definitely difficult. I think for me personally, it was the social media that really knocked me around. Like a lot of the best athletes, like before your race, turn it off. Like get rid of your social media. I know like Sidney McLaughlin does it. I know
George Beamish and
George
Mario
Beamish and
Garcia.
Mario do it. Actually didn't know that Mario did it, but that's a big factor that I think is really good. I don't know if, I mean, you guys have probably seen me race, but I do a lot of yawning. So when I feel like I'm a bit overwhelmed, I'll like to start naturally yawning, and it really calms me down. That helps a lot too, and also scheduling out maybe the marathon, because I know from what I've heard with, for example, the New York Marathon, like it's super early start. It's like a decent bus trip there. You're waiting around for a long time, and a lot of that tension builds up, and it can create a pretty negative environment for you. I would say try and prepare yourself for that in the best possible way, but also try and detach yourself until the moment happens. Like if you come to the realization that like it's out of your control and you've done all the training, you're mentally focused, but those nerves come up and you definitely feel like, oh, I'm going to like throw up. I'm going to like not be able to. If you just realize like it's not in your control, like this race is going to happen, you're going to have a good time, and you kind of come to the realization that at the end of the day, like that moment will cross. I think the reality of just being very much complacent with it, I think that helps me. It might help you, it might not, but yawning, planning out that whole period, I think is good. Breathing exercises and meditation is really good. And generally just, I think practice, like, I mean, a lot of professional athletes and runners, they'll still get nervous, because I'm sure you guys get this question too from people that are non-runners. They say, oh, like, how do you deal with the nerves like before big races? It's like, well, they're pretty much the same. You just get used to the idea and feeling of it and preparedness for it. And I think the more prepared you'll be, is just from the consistency of each race, you hopefully develop less nerves, but not less nerves, but more readiness, maybe is the right word. But that's what I felt for me, racing like all the Diamond Leagues, racing against really crazy competitors, and then Olympics and common games and Worlds is like just that practice of being able to control nerves, but also just realize that they're supposed to be there is a good thing.
Yeah, I think building off what you guys said on because I do see it as like the two sides of it, the dealing with the nerves, the mental side of it, and the physical, like throwing up side of it. And for the physical throwing up side, I would actually recommend to talk to like a doctor or someone who would have some expertise in that and see if there is something basic that you can do. Maybe you take something and it deals with that and it doesn't have any negative side effects. I would ask a professional about that. We're not a professional. What I have spent a lot of time working on is the mental side of racing, just as these guys have talked about. And Ollie talked about nerves and how they're not going to, you can't control nerves. Like nerves are going to be there and you can't hope for them to be less of nerves. Like that's probably a easy way to have more nerves, is just hoping they go away. You have to learn how to deal with them. And that's something that I've worked with a couple of sports psychologists on. And so the most basic things I would say about that, like the key things that I would still be writing, like I remember learning about this at the time and I've carried it through my whole running journey. A couple of things. One is to think about, so first off, that you have to accept like the negative emotions and you can't fight them. You have to just be like, okay, they're there. That's fine. Like my old friend, nerves, like every time I race that comes, that's a good thing. It means I care a lot about what I'm about to go and do. And one other thing that I think about, which has helped me a lot, is you think about, in order to achieve your goal, your running goal, you sign up for a lot of pain. And like you just accept it. Like if you're running a marathon, if you're running a 1500, there's going to be a lot of physical pain, and you've made a choice that you're okay with taking on this pain to achieve your goal. Well, you can look at the mental side of it the exact same. You can just say, well, I want to achieve my goal, and I know that in order to achieve that, there's going to be a certain level of nerves before the race, even the week of the race, and that's okay because I really want to achieve my goal, and it's pushing through these hard things which make it so special, make it so amazing, make it challenging, and that's exactly why you do it. So looking at it like that, you kind of reframe it, and you just realize it's part of it, and that helps me a lot because at the end of the day, it's fine to have like the nerves and all that, but yeah, you just don't want to make it bigger than it has to be. So there are lots of other things. I definitely recommend you look into all the stuff that the boys talked about as well. But if you can look at the mental side of it, and yeah, as you said, like working with a therapist, a psychologist, I think that helps everyone if you can find the right person. But it's easier said than done, and not everyone has the time or the resources to go do that. So maybe what we've said today are a couple of things that you can maybe write down and start working on now and see if they help you, because I think all three of us have had success using the methods that we've talked about. So yeah, that is our advice. And yeah, you're not alone. A lot of people deal with that. So it
doesn't go away as well.
Normal.
Everyone deals with it.
Yeah. So, but hopefully you can get on top of the throwing up, because you want to keep those carbs in when you race the marathon.
I was thinking this is probably a really naive thing for me to say, but a liquid diet you'd just throw up still, wouldn't you? Like if you had liquid carbs instead of maybe like whatever's causing the throw up, maybe more solid. Would that be helpful at all, do you reckon?
I'm sure they've tried different methods. I mean, and when you race a marathon, you have. I wonder if. I guess one thing I would say that you just made me think of is if you are throwing up, making sure that you replace those carbs as soon as you can via gels and that type of stuff.
There's little like Stinger waffles.
Yeah, because those are important. But hopefully we helped you, and thank you very much for submitting the question. On to the next one. We had a few diet questions about eating healthy and also struggling to eat enough carbs and calories in a day. And again, maybe we should have said this at the top. We're not experts in like specific fields
or any
pretty much any field other than running, professional running.
Yeah,
we're not professionals,
but we do have we do have a lot of things that we've picked up along the way that can potentially help you and push you in the right direction. And so that's all that we will be sharing today. But we're not experts. And so at the end of the day, if something is serious, we would always say go to a professional. But I think we can still hopefully help you a little bit. Okay. Dear Coffee Club, my name is Mo. I'm a high school runner, and I've been wondering if having a healthy diet matters all that much. Like, if I don't eat any junk food throughout the season, will I actually see better results? It seems hard to believe, and I'm not sure if it's worth it. How did you approach nutrition in high school and college and even now? If it matters, I ran 4:30 for the 1600 and 9:40 for the 3200 last spring. Thanks so much. I'm a big fan. Mo P. Thank you, Mo. Diet. The question on everyone's mind.
In-house nutritionist.
Ollie, do you want to
take the reins?
This is the tough thing. Like, and I'm being really honest here. Like, I didn't change my diet. I ate pretty. I wouldn't say badly, but I didn't eat well.
In high school? What are we talking?
No, high school was okay because I think high school.
America corrupted you.
Honestly, I think it was just not being at home. I think that parental supervision of like, you're not eating that garbage, you're eating this, and then I'd be like, okay. Like I really didn't have that freedom or flexibility to just go like, oh, I'm just gonna go and eat dinner somewhere else. Obviously, I'm gonna eat it at home, and my mum would always make really healthy and great meals. So I was very lucky for that. And I used to make food with mum, and it was always pretty standard. And then once I moved to America, once that college thing happened, I definitely didn't really know what I was doing. I was eating a range of foods I probably shouldn't have been eating. But I think what happened was when I joined into a house, when I got out of the dorms with Morgan, Joe Hardy, Zach Benning, like Kai Wilmer, a lot of our mates that were in that house cooked. And the great thing about that was watching what they were making, because I was like, oh, that looks kind of good. Maybe sausage and pasta with some peppers. I might make that. And then I kind of copy off them a little bit, and that really helped me learn what to make for those meals when I didn't know. But I would still eat bad. I'd still eat junk food. And I had a decently successful college career, but I'm also like my own individual, and my body will respond differently to eating certain foods that other bodies will respond to. So like my opinion is like, I've always said to people that have asked me this question, because they always see me as like eating junk food, drinking Mountain Dew and all that sort of shit. I always tell them like, just make sure you eat enough. Like it's more important that you're eating enough for the amount of exercise, the amount of strain that you're putting on your body. That's the most important thing. Then the next most important thing is making sure you get everything that your body needs in that food. So like carbohydrates, protein, micronutrients, like that's all really important. And the one thing that I also think people will ask me too is like, when you take supplements, for example, like iron or vitamin D, they're supplements for a reason. They're not like they're supposed to be the main thing that you get those resources out of. Like, you should be getting some good iron in your diet, regardless of the supplement you're taking. Same with vitamin D, or same with B12 or whatever you have. And I've always tried to be really cautious of that, not eating. I eat a lot of shit, but also eating like stuff that has those really important factors in it. But in my personal experience, it doesn't matter that much. I think you just got to eat enough and eat what your body needs. Like, yeah, that's my opinion. I know you guys are I'm sitting next to two blokes who eat extremely healthy and extremely well, so they're going to be giving you way better advice than I would. But my personal journey from being from high school to now was that my diet hasn't been amazing, and I've still been able to perform at a high level. I think the key to that success is because I've been able to eat enough.
Mm. George, what do you think?
I think Ollie has a point. Wait, so is the main thing he's asking whether we think if he gives up junk food, will it make him faster?
He's asking if it's worth it to eat healthier.
Could you go 50-50 maybe? Like,
he's asking if he'll actually see results if he decides to eat less junk food and, I assume, replace it with healthier food.
I guess there's only one way you can find out. Like just try it for a few months. What do you think, George?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a time and a place for quote unquote junk food, depending on what he's talking about.
Well, but see, the thing is, like, okay, for George, for you, like, what's junk food for you? Because it's different for everyone, right? Like, junk food might just be like chocolate.
I'm thinking like fast food.
I feel like it's probably more like fast food, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I eat chocolate. I love chocolate. I love ice cream.
Chocolate's healthy.
Would you consider Chipotle fast food?
I think Chipotle's good. I think you can probably order like healthy and unhealthy food at Chipotle. I think if you ate Chipotle every day, it might not be the best.
I think Drew Bosley did that for a while.
Oh, really?
Not even kidding.
It's not the
He
worst.
went like a year eating Chipotle. Like
Chipotle is
every
not the
single night.
worst. It's probably better than a lot of other like fast foods.
So, like for example, with Mo, like it could be like, okay, I ordered 20 boneless wings from Buffalo Wild Wings, right? Or now I'm gonna still get fast food, but it's gonna be Chipotle.
I think
Yeah.
that would be a good. I think that
It's a
would
good
be a good
compromise.
decision because I think, yeah, like Ollie said, amount is important, but I think there's also an element of like not just the eating, but like the choices you make with the eating. Like it's a question of like whether you want to be disciplined or not, because the approach you take to food as a runner is also the approach you're going to take to probably most other things in your life. And if you need like quite a lot of discipline to be successful in the sport. And so, carrying out some of that in each aspect, whether that's your diet or your training or your sleep or, any of the things, the little things you do outside of running. Like if you can't be disciplined in one, then I think you'll struggle to be disciplined in the other. But in saying that, like my fast food of choice is normally like a burger, but it's normally like if I'm like a big training day and I've already eaten and I'm still real fucking hungry.
Yeah.
And I just like feel like if I can't go to sleep and not give my body like the calories or the protein, the carbs, whatever to like recover overnight. Like I just got to go get something if it's like later at night.
That's a good point. Like you get your good main meal first, and then you can have your little cheat meal. Because like Joe Klecker, for example, is a great example.
Joe taught me that.
Yeah, because Joe burns more calories than anybody pretty much on the men's side, and I would say that like he from what he tells me, he's like a life member with Culver's. He'll have his meal, and then like an hour or two later, you'll see a story from Joe at Culver's getting a burger. So like I think that's a good thing. Like you're filling in those calories, you're giving your body like what it needs, but it gets that good basic meal first. That's
I think that's less what Mo is asking exactly. I don't know how hard he's training, but I assume he's not like quite at the level of us. I think what George said has a lot of truth in it. I think because it is just it's not easy. Like it's not an easy answer. Well, there is an easy answer. Obviously, if you eat better, it's going to be better for you. Like that's a truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you sleep 9 hours a day, it's going to be better for you. None of us like sleep 9 hours every day because there's life, So it is more about finding what works for you. And I do agree that like if you're taking attention to your diet and you're doing it with a lot of intention and really being a bit disciplined and smart with it, like I think that will be that will bleed into all aspects of your life, and that's the type of thing that you can have control over, and it will make you feel better. You're like, if it's something that you struggle with, like those temptations, if you can reverse that is the type of thing that will really potentially have a positive impact on you. I think maybe not everyone is the same as this, but for me personally, if I eat healthier, I do feel better. Like I do compared to if I eat unhealthy. Like I do just feel better. And so once I'm in a routine of eating healthy, going back to like eating like properly unhealthy, like doesn't make me feel as good. So I don't know if that's something that you've ever actually experienced in your life, because maybe once you start eating healthy, then that'll become what your body actually like craves. Because that's the point that I think like I am. Like I love some like junk foods, like a burger I love, but it's not like the thing that I would love to eat every day. Like I just like don't feel like that. Like I like fruit and I like other stuff a lot. And I think that's just because I was lucky that that's like what I had in the house growing up. So it's what I got used to, and it's like what I just legitimately feel better eating. But then I do agree that if you are training so much that it's hard to have that many healthy meals, because it is hard to make like 2 or 3 healthy meals a day. Like you do have to put planning and a lot of effort into it. So if it is hard, I think you really should look at other options to make it a bit easier for you. And going to like Chipotle, for example, and ordering something a little more healthy is like a great...
Panera as well is great option.
Yeah, it's like great options.
It depends on like access to... I mean, obviously, like we're hoping it's not hard to get healthy foods, but sometimes for people it is, and it's just an easier option to eat fast food and to obviously not have to cook it. But I think Geordie brought a good point, like being disciplined. Like if you put that active effort in and that ownership of being involved with your food, I feel like you'll feel much more rewarded for what you do in your training as well as how you feel. I think that's a really good mental process of like making your breakfast, making your food. It's like making your coffee. You're like doing a task and then have your end result and goal, and then doing that for yourself. It might give you some self-love.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're not professionals. If you're really interested in this, go to a nutritionist. Like I'm seeing a nutritionist right now. So it doesn't matter what stage you are in it. It could be halfway through the season. It could be that you're like not sure if this will work. Like even just trying it, I think it's a really good option to talk to a nutritionist and see, because you might have a lot of other elements to this that we don't necessarily know about or experience, and they'll be able to give you the right knowledge and also resources to hopefully put that best position for you, where it could be 50-50. It could be just looking for better alternatives to fast food, and it also could just be like setting up a meal plan.
Yeah, I'd say you don't need to cut it out like cold turkey forever. Like you junk food a day, it's not going to make or break your season. But like
but if you eat it like every day,
any intentions to
3 meals a week
to improve
every day
will be like 3 meals a day every day of the year.
Step by step. Let's do step by step.
Yeah, any progress is good progress.
I mean, it's nice too. Like I think maybe looking at it like this, like I'm going to go all the way to this conference race or this state race, and I'm going to run as best I can, and then afterwards I know I can like go and get a burger like afterwards. Like that's always like a nice thing. I
think that's dangerous. I don't think you're meant to use food as a reward. I think that's I mean, I obviously use food as a reward, but I don't think you're meant to.
Yeah, but that's maybe, yeah, don't listen to my advice then. But I always like doing that.
No, it's you got to after a race, of course, you go eat a burger.
But yeah.
Oh, my final thing that I'll say on it before we can move on to, I think we'll do the lightning round next, is Mo did ask, like, will I see results? Not necessarily. Like, it's not like your race next week is necessarily going to change, but maybe in a year from, like, it's everything that you do should be with a long-term approach, and this is one of those things that definitely is part of a long-term approach.
Keep you healthy, keep you injury-free. You won't know that result.
Yeah,
just run
it'll be compounded. It'll be the results that you see might not be even this season, but if you do it correctly, in a year from now, you may see crazy results. So that it'll be more like that type of thing.
If you do infinite threshold one time, it's probably not going to do anything.
You can only do infinite threshold one time.
Yeah, then you're stuck for the rest of your life.
It just goes on forever.
You're stuck.
Right, if you only do triple threshold once, it probably doesn't help.
No.
But if you do it
triple,
3 times a week.
Every day,
3 times a week at Flagstaff with Michael Smith
in the dome,
holding the stopwatch in the dome, then you obviously got
compounding. It will compound.
Yeah, it'll compound. You won't have to go to sleep. You will be asleep.
All right, so this is the lightning round. So we're going to try to get through these ones a little bit quicker. Hey, Coffee Club, heard you were helping with some advice. My boyfriend sometimes does easy runs with me, which is great, but he snot rockets constantly. What do I do? I've gotten the weather report, if you will, once already. I don't understand that joke.
The weather report, I think that means it's honor.
Oh,
I don't know how that.
I've never heard that before, but yeah.
Neither, but that has to mean that.
Honestly, just probably. Wait, oh, sorry. There's a PS to this. P.S. We were just in New Zealand and did some amazing runs around Queenstown. Scenery beautiful enough to make me forget about the above. That's good to hear. Honestly, I'd probably just break up with him.
Shout out to the boyfriend for not giving a shit. I mean, like,
not shout out for getting it on it. That's crossing the line.
Has she spoken to him about it?
I'm sure she has.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe just give some snot rockets back. Just go like just shoot him and just say this is how it feels like running next to you. You're just shooting snot rockets. He's just trying to clear it out.
I would like.
He's trying to breathe through his nose.
Yeah.
I mean, that is okay. It is lightning round. I'm not trying to get too deep, but like if you have to snot rocket constantly, that does kind of signify something. Because if I wanted to snot rocket a lot, I couldn't. You know what I mean?
My advice be start taping your mouth, and there'll be less shit in your nose.
Yeah, you have to.
I snot rocket like It's been in the winter. I feel like your nose is running all the time.
I feel like in the winter more than any time else. Maybe if you have like maybe the boyfriend's sensitive to pollen or something, you might have some hay fever. Honestly,
that's a weak one. That's a weak.
That's weak.
You gotta find the root cause and solve that problem.
It could be in Eugene,
but you have to put it on him because.
Yeah, put it on him. I'd say Geordie's advice: tape your nose.
You say
your nose.
tape your mouth. Sorry, tape your mouth.
I say you should go up to him, boyfriend. You got to sort this out. Otherwise, I'm never gonna run with you again. Whatever you need to do, just do it. And you have that firm discussion.
Yep.
Take care of it.
If he gets on you again, just throw him off the trail.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable.
Push him.
Morgan's
done that to me once.
That's crossing the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
I faked a knee injury.
I remember that very well. I did push Ollie into the shrubbery.
Yeah, and I faked a knee injury, and Morgan knew straight away I was faking it.
Yeah, that was good. All right. No need for advice. Just a question. If the Australian flag is blue, red, why can't I talk? Blue, red, and white. Why the heck are the uniforms green and yellow?
The reason is because
it's like our national colours, no?
The reason why is because
they probably signify something.
Well, it's the same with the Netherlands because they're orange, right?
And
we had a big discussion at Monaco Diamond League with like when I was hanging out with like the Elise and Cooper and Mo and we like went through every country that doesn't wear their colours
because all
like
blacks
Googled them.
well.
New Zealand, Australia,
Does
Italy.
the black and white signify something?
Italy's blue. The Netherlands.
Orange.
Orange mainly.
How many else? There's more.
There's so many.
I mean, the main
because there's too many red, white, and blue.
Yeah, that's the main reason. I think there's too many red, white, and blue. You got France.
I'm pretty sure
US.
Australia was literally beaches and trees.
Yeah.
I think that was it. It was like signifying the beaches and the trees in Australia.
Think the yellow signifying the sand.
I think it literally was.
Beaches. And then I think the green does signify like
Italy was like
eucalyptus or something like that.
Italy was like a royal family color from when it was like Kingdom of Italy or something.
Yeah, Cinta told me that. And then the orange must be the same. Must be a royal family thing.
I bet it is.
What's black and white for New Zealand?
I think just started with the All Blacks. Wearing black.
Well, I think
1800s.
isn't in Maori culture like black's really significant in some form. Like I know they got tattoos like black tattoos and stuff.
Most tattoos are that color.
No, but like
we're gonna have to fact check this one.
I think
our Maori expert.
Black or white. I'm pretty sure it's significant in Maori culture. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure the All Blacks. Well, I don't know about that, but I think the All Blacks wore black of the tour of Europe in like 1890 something because they were easier to clean. Like the jerseys were easier to clean between matches or something.
Dude, there's a lot of teams that have like really like just random stories for like why they're like Juventus black and white and they got the stripes. The reason they have, and it's so iconic, their jerseys, the black and white stripes. The reason they have it is just because they needed new kits and they went to England to get them, and the local team that was their kit already. So then they just sent them over to Juventus, and then
really
200 years later, it's like iconic. So
that's awesome.
Probably just something silly like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. From Seth, we have, I don't want to go to my 6 a.m. practice. Please tell me what the best excuses I can give my coach for missing practice in the morning.
You're listening to Coffee Club podcast. That's your best excuse.
6 a.m. I love that.
It's the alarm.
I'd say alarm or drug testing. So just say
drug testing.
Yeah. I got put in the pool.
I got put in the whereabouts pool.
That
I'm
one's
drug
great
tested.
idea.
I'm gonna miss and I'm listening to the Coffee Club podcast.
If you're part of a team and you have 6 a.m. practice, it is hard to
get out of that.
Get out of it because you have implicitly agreed to do that.
Why is the coach doing that? That's
I hope
crazy.
they live in Arizona or somewhere.
Yeah, a lot of schools in the hotter areas, like Ole Miss, for example, did morning practice.
Carlos would talk about running at like ungodly hours in Tucson.
I would probably, I think you can't, there's no excuse that you can use regularly, but if you want to get out of one practice, you have to have some really elaborate excuse, like probably like blame your roommate about like something that happened in the night, some like family emergency or something. That's probably what I would do.
What do people use on our team?
Jason said the wrong address. Usually,
Yara did use that one once.
Yeah. Blame the coach.
Also, like,
tell him you thought practice was somewhere else.
The excuse that we have is our group chat. Like, I'm not trying to call out our team. Is not used efficiently because Dathan will post about like what we're doing, and then all of a sudden, like, I remember back when the team started, like we'd have people send in like photos of their dogs or send in some random stuff, and then it would just go for 3 or 4 pages, and then everyone forgets like when practice was, and you have to like scroll back up. So like that stuff can happen.
Yeah, use the group chat.
Use the group chat excuse where there's too many messages in the group chat and you miss.
But unfortunately, they probably meet at the same place.
And
They-
the same time.
So that one may not work.
Yeah, true.
So we'll see.
I
But
reckon the drug testing one's good.
I would just go as like super elaborate. Like super elaborate.
So you got attacked by a meerkat.
Yeah. Something like that. All right, from Sam, we have thoughts on ice baths. Like how often and when is appropriate, if not other forms of recovery. I think we're pretty anti-ice baths on the Coffee Club podcast.
Physically, I don't think it does that. Mentally, though. Mentally, I think it makes you tough and disciplined, and it really...
A good plunge.
It's a good... Yeah, Joy does a good plunge. I feel like it's a good way to start the day.
I'm pro ice plunge. I'm anti ice bath. I love the feeling of getting in cold water. I haven't done one. I did one with Jamie like a month ago in the Boulder Creek. Felt amazing. But I'm talking like
Dip.
90 seconds.
Yeah, dip.
In super
Maybe
cold.
less. Super cold, super short.
Honestly...
You just get like the adrenaline and whatever other like hormones you start producing.
Is Sam a girl or a boy?
They didn't put their gender.
But it just makes muscles feel terrible.
Get a partner, massage. Best alternative. Get a leg massage. Just get a partner purely for that.
You can also pay for them.
Nah, because then you get them for free. I'm giving them this great advice here, where you just get a partner, go on Hinge, get a partner, and tell them all you want out of the relationship is physical touch and it's massage.
That would be
I think
nice.
there's like studies that show ice baths do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Maybe there's some studies that
half
say
of the
they
stuff we
do
do
something
like do nothing. Though.
I mean, I'm pretty sure every study says that everything does nothing. Like anything you do, it's just nothing.
Yeah, we're definitely more pro sauna. We like Normatec boots, like putting your legs up. We like that a bit.
Massage.
Just run more. We like that as well for recovery.
Run more, massage. That's
run
the
more.
best recovery from Ritz is like you ran a 15-mile long run. Yeah, run another
Shake it
15
out.
miles.
Shake it out.
Run a 3-mile cool down after every workout.
Shake
That's
it
also a good one.
The elliptical double. That just moves the blood. Movement is medicine.
Coming back to training, I
That's
know
clickers.
it's beneficial. I know it's beneficial. The elliptical for a double is the most useless fucking cross training, in my
Go
opinion.
for a shake out.
I'd rather do a bike workout than elliptical for a double.
I think elliptical is better than the bike.
I just feel like I don't get anything out of the elliptical.
It's more similar to running.
You were breathing kind of... Oh, no, you're on the
That was on the bike, yeah.
It's more similar to running. If you're going for a pure workout, it can be hard.
Yeah, true.
I think biking's better cross training if you're not running. Supplemental, I think elliptical is better.
Elliptical's better. Okay.
I don't know if you saw, but I started
off
cracking
topic.
up laughing during that because I started reading the next the next one. So you guys are going to really enjoy this one.
Lay it on us.
Hello, Coffee Club Pod. Sometimes I go on runs with my girlfriend and I often have to clear my nose, particularly when it's chilly out because I like to keep my breathing nasal only on easy runs. My girlfriend absolutely hates this and makes me feel ashamed about it to the point where I drop back far behind her to clear my nose. How can I stop her being so toxic and recognize the importance of breathing mechanics?
So we have we got Coffee Club fans in a relationship, both emailing in separately.
Do we know? Wait, we don't know. This could be another couple.
No, I think it's the same couple.
I hope it's the same couple. We didn't... That would have been good advice, just dropping back. We didn't suggest that.
Well, he did that. And she
I
still
know,
gets
he's already
annoyed
done
by
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is tough. Nasal breathing only on easy runs. That might be your...
Wait, that's what he said he's trying to do?
Yeah, that's not easy. It's very
you have to run
difficult.
pretty slow.
That's very difficult.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing. That keeps the effort low.
I think you have to choose between nasal breathing only on easy runs and your girlfriend. Like, I don't think you can have both in this scenario. You just have to pick one.
It sounds like
I think the nasal breathing is winning.
Yeah.
Nasal breathing should keep your nose... You shouldn't have to snot rocket as much. That seems conflicting.
Particularly when it's chilly out. Everyone's nose works differently.
Mm.
I think that you make a decision, a priorities-based decision, what you value more in
Were
life.
you guys ever handkerchief kids?
No, that's disgusting.
This is what I'm going to
Handkerchief?
do.
You ever had a handkerchief?
Nah, this is what I'm
No,
going to do.
neither. But that's an idea.
Go to
Bring a
Target.
handkerchief.
Go to Target, buy some Tiger Balm, and just rub it all over your nose.
You could try nose strips.
Yeah, just put Tiger Balm all over your nose, and it will stop. It will stop that.
Oh, shit. Keep your nose open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might help.
What's that stuff that Vapor Rub? That you
It's
put
really
Vapor?
hard to snot rocket with a nose strip because
Oh, it
you
stops it.
can't close it.
They have to do, this is like kind of disgusting,
What-
but
we
you
haven't-
have to do the full sinus clear thing before every run. Like where you put the water,
Yeah.
the saline up it.
What about just don't breathe on the easy run? Just stop breathing, and then you can breathe afterwards. Maybe that'll stop it.
That's shit advice.
Just don't breathe. It's overrated anyway, breathing.
All right, final questions. Another question. There's one from Derek Rubis. Shout out to Derek Rubis.
Derek.
We love you. Final question is, considering it's Movember, any tips on growing my mustache? He said connect. I think he meant to write correct. I'm currently growing too. And there's a picture for evidence from Riley. And he has a really big gap in between. Oh, no, that is correct. Connect. Any tips on making my mustache? Connect. So he has a big gap in the middle.
I bet it's because he's been mouth taping. So
It's been
it's been
ripping.
It's been
waxing.
ripped off, yeah.
It's been waxing the hair in the middle.
Honestly, Riley, I think this is a genetic issue, and I think you
Genetic
just have to.
malfunction.
I think you just have to
Wait.
embrace it because I think it looks fine.
We
I
went
think it
from
looks
Riley
good.
to Derek Rubis. I'm confused.
So I did a shout out to Derek Rubis before, and
Oh.
now we went on to Riley.
Okay.
This is not
I
Derek
thought this was
Rubis.
Derek Rubis. I was like, Derek. I know from Derek Rubis's photos, he grows a mean mustache. I reckon what you should do is, those like little like connecting things girls put in their hair. Just cut
Extensions?
cut a little extension off and just put it right here.
Extensions. I'll just.
I think you
But
could
be
probably
careful
just.
because you might look like someone famous that was really really bad. So don't.
Make sure it's the right color.
Yeah,
Yeah,
make sure
you
it's the
just
right
draw.
color.
I think you just draw it in. Just fill it in.
he has a very light orange
Yeah.
mustache, so
Maybe he could dye his mustache darker. Maybe that will make it look worse
or better.
or better. Or worse as in like the gap would be more like noticeable, I guess.
I think you just got to embrace things like that. Like, what can you do about it?
I mean, George, your mustache has like come in quite nicely. I remember when we first started the team, it was like not as like thick around here.
What?
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot thicker this year.
Well done,
I
George.
think I just haven't grown a mustache in a long time.
Maybe that's what it is.
But I appreciate you noticing.
It looks like when I saw it when you first did it, I was like, wow, that looks really good.
I've actually had to trim it twice this Movember.
Yeah,
It got too long that I had to like buzz the mustache at a higher number and then
I'm
do the
lazy.
beard.
I like buzz this, and then I just keep the mustache and then trim like here. But
Trim the edges.
Trim the edges. But Morgan, you haven't had a mustache in a while.
No, I just go full beard. I like having a mustache. I really do because I like the feeling of like clean shaving the rest of my face. But it's just I'm too lazy.
Can I have a recommend? I put my hand up. I just want a recommendation. Can you do a goatee at some point?
I've done it before. It looks really bad.
Yeah, I
on me.
know. I want to see it again.
looks really
You could have a-
I don't understand how people pull off goatees. Like I don't understand how people like.
I've only seen one person pull it off.
Wait, think about this. Like, what's the minimum age you have to be to have it? I think there's an age limit on a goatee. Like, you can't
40.
be like, yeah, you have to be
I think
pretty.
you have to be over
Actually,
40.
Correction. There's two people that I've seen pull it off really well. Colonel Sanders, great
Yes.
goatee.
Yes.
Ryan Gosling in The Grey Man actually looks pretty good with a goatee.
I need to look that up.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy can
Look
play
that
pull
up.
off
Ryan
anything.
Gosling's
Yeah,
good pull
I
off
feel like if you're
anything.
good looking, you can pull off anything. But Colonel Sanders,
You're right. He's not
When I-
necessarily.
He's also
good,
80
not
years
traditionally good looking. Old people do pull off goatees
Goatees, yeah.
better.
you know who has a goatee right now?
Mick.
Mick Byrne.
Mick's one is so funny.
So funny.
Any facial hair on Mick is
And
pretty
you
funny.
can tell that he thinks he looks good with it on.
He's had it for a while now.
Yeah, he walks
think a
around
year.
with a little like just shake of the shoulders, just walking around.
I love it. I love it.
It's unreal.
Well, that's it for our Coffee Club Cauldron for today. Once again, thank you so much for everyone that submitted, and apologies to the ones that we didn't get to. And we will get to you eventually. I think we might do it as a recurring segment at the end of shows for a little bit, maybe for infinity. So we'll see. But I think, is that everything from us, guys? Feeling good?
Feeling good.
Don't think I said what episode this is. I don't actually know. It's either 100, it's 113.
113.
13.
113. That's like my favorite number, plus 100. With that, thank you very much, everyone, for listening. And we hope to see you all again next week. Bye-bye.